It's the Score North Twin Show.
All right, Score North Twin Show live from Target Field. Declan Goff here. Twins take game one of this doubleheader against the Oakland Athletics. They win 6-2 today. Game two will be coming up shortly after this. I'm coming at you right now on a Sunday at about 4:30 between the games. There won't be an Extra Innings episode after game two, so we're going to kind of talk about what's happened with the Twins here in the last few days, and specifically with Carlos Correa, who is just absolutely punishing baseballs. I even have a funny story from Royce Lewis that I'll share here in just a little bit on the podcast. If this is the first time you're discovering the Score North Twin Show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for next to daily Minnesota Twins content, Extra Innings content, live from every home game. So please hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. It helps spread the word. Of course, we're on Apple and Spotify. So yeah, Twins take a game one against the Oakland Athletics today. They win 6-2. Carlos Correa is just proving he's a cyborg, proving he is maybe not overrated. I know there was a big poll that came out from the Athletic about a week ago, and they surveyed just a small number of players. So even though Correa received votes, it wasn't from a large pool, in my opinion, that should really suggest that he's definitely overrated. But Correa's name was on there, and Carlos Correa, who is, I don't know if he's overrated, but he's definitely not universally loved. If you've been to a game following the Twins on the road, you will find just about every single ballpark, maybe except for Houston, decides to boo him. And now Correa was front and center for a very, prominent scandal with trash cans and the Astros win the World Series in 2017. That being said, he is a polarizing superstar player, and right now Carlos Correa is just destroying baseballs. In his last 10 games, he is 22 for 40, which is absolutely nuts. He had 2 home runs on Sunday, one that got into the third deck. And, when you talk to Correa, has something changed with your approach? Has something become a little bit different? And Correa will just tell you he's still executing the same thing and having the same type of mindset, whether he goes, 3 for 3 with a couple home runs like he did today, or if he goes 0 for 4 in a game, which is inevitable in baseball too. So, I think with Carlos Correa, even though there is some negativity around him, there's a lot of people that baseball fans probably don't like him because he was front and center for that Astros stuff. At the end of the day, he is kind of the heartbeat and superstar of this Minnesota Twins team. And yeah, Royce Lewis is right behind him. Royce Lewis will definitely probably even surpass him, maybe even sooner rather than later. But I think when you have Correa around, as we've discussed a few times on Score North Twin shows, a guy that's won World Series, a guy that has had incredible postseason success. And for whatever reason, I do think there's probably a collection, maybe not the majority, but a collection of Twins fans who have always wanted to see more from him offensively. Last year, I shouldn't say it's an excuse by any means, but he was dealing with a foot injury that limited him at the plate. But then once he was able to heal from that in the playoffs, you saw kind of the playoff version of Carlos Correa. So, he's going to be the heartbeat of this team. So Carlos Correa just continues to put up ridiculous numbers. Got 2 home runs today, multi-hit games all the dang time, while also still playing that stellar defense that he has always been known for. He's a Platinum Glove winner. He is one of the slickest fielding shortstops, and the Twins have seen, other shortstops in this organization that were good fielders, maybe not great hitters either. But the Twins have never had something like this in the last maybe 30 years. I know there's a lot of Greg Gagne fans. I think my sports dad, Judd Zolgad's, walking by right now, reminding me of that. But Carlos Correa is even a better hitter and a better fielder. The Twins have been able to rely on him a ton. They're going to rely on him, as much as they can. He damn near plays every single day. But Carlos Correa proving he's not overrated. He's certainly not. Now, is he going to hit, this 500 stretch that he's on right now where he's murdering baseballs? He'll cool off for sure. And he's raised his OPS and batting average significantly just over the last 10 games, which just goes to show the ridiculous stretch that he is on. But Correa proving he's not overrated. I know a lot of fans love to hate him. That's fine. But at the same time, the Twins are very lucky and fortunate to have him. And even though there was drama with the contract, I'm sure every Twins fan is honestly a little thankful for the drama because it winds up with Carlos Correa being here with the Twins and not with the Giants or Mets. So tease a little bit at the beginning of this episode. Right before Royce Lewis hit the home run in the first inning that went back-to-back with the Twins. So Correa hit up in the first, hits a home run, and then Royce Lewis came up, hit a home run. They go back-to-back. But the replay showed on the telecast and even just up here watching from the press box at Target Field there was a conversation that, and Correa's known for this. Like, Correa will go up to players, kind of cover the mouth and try to tell them something that maybe he learned in that at bat. That was no different than what happened with Royce. So I asked Royce Lewis point blank, what did Correa tell you? Now he goes into a rant, Royce does, that sometimes when Carlos Correa calls him over to it for a chat, whether that's in the field or at the plate, Correa likes to sing songs, and he makes Royce Lewis sing songs back with him. He has to repeat the words. So poor Royce Lewis had to put on his singing voice a little bit, and eventually I picked up what he was singing, and it was Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs, if anyone's a fan of that. But that's the type of guy that Correa is too. He's going to be loose, he's going to be fun, and he's going to try to get people out of their comfort zone in a good way. Baseball is very much a mental game. But relating it back to that at-bat, what did Correa tell Royce Lewis? He just said to keep the same approach. I believe they both hit different pitches. I think Correa hit a slider and Royce hit a sinker off the lefty starter for the Oakland A's that resulted in long balls for the Twins. So, Correa, that's what he's going to do. He's going to be able to go out there and make his other superstar and teammates laugh a little bit, also hold them accountable, also go up there to the plate, do what he does, and be a slick fielding player. But found that story to be absolutely hilarious. So the next time you see Carlos Correa maybe conversing with Royce Lewis or even people on the mound, as of right now, it's Luke Combs, and it's Where the Wild Things Are. I don't know how many times that these songs might rotate, but something to definitely keep in mind and watch the next time you're able to watch a Twins game. I know that's very tough for some sports fans right now. You absolutely should be pissed off about it. But if you notice at the ballpark, definitely keep your eye on it. So Twins, continue to beat up on some bad teams. We'll have a State of the Twins episode, too, on Monday with Mackie and Judd. We'll have a vibe check, favorite things, least favorite things. But right now the Twins are in the midst of a long homestand, a 13-gamer. There was a rain out yesterday, so that's why they're playing the doubleheader on Sunday. And it's kind of hard to gauge, even though the Twins are winning games, which, by the way, that's all I care about, and that's what every other fan should care about, is winning baseball games. It's hard to gauge, how good this team truly is when you are beating up on the Rockies and Athletics, and I think there is a valid conversation to be had of how good is this Twins team really, even though they continue to beat up on the bad teams, and yet they're 0-14 against the really good teams, the AL in New York and Cleveland and whatnot. So that's tough. That's frustrating. I totally get it. But if you're a Twins fan and you see the A's come to town, you see the Rockies come to town, and you're seeing these ridiculous scores, they had 24 hits and 17 runs in just one game against Colorado. They go back and forth on Friday in this epic game here that leads to an extra inning. Awesome hit from Max Kepler with Flo right in town. Maybe Flo just has to stay here. But regardless, the Twins beat up on these bad teams, and they should. They should absolutely clobber these teams. Can you say the Twins are one of the best teams in the American League? I don't think so. Hello, Sports Dad. Can you say they're one of the best teams in the American League? I don't think you can. Can you say they're a good team, and could they surprise come October time and if they get a favorable matchup, or even just in general? Baseball's weird, dude. You saw the Texas Rangers win the World Series last year. No one picked them to win the World Series when the playoffs started. So things can change, certainly. But I think if you're a Twins fan and you're looking at the A's and the Rockies, and they'll have Tampa Bay here after their off day tomorrow on Monday, take care of business against the bad teams. Eventually, it probably evens out a little bit with some of those good teams. They're still going to play Cleveland again. They won't play New York again. I think they have Baltimore the last series of the year, which could be pivotal for playoff seedings for both of those teams, who will be obviously chasing, as of right now, the teams that are in front of them in the Central. And when you look at the Central, Guardians have now lost a couple in a row. That's starting to even things out. Just take care of the wins against the bad teams when you can, and then things will eventually settle. I know the Twins have had runs where they win, 9 of 12 games, and they have only gained a half game against Cleveland because Cleveland keeps winning too. So I think if you're a Twins fan, and as long as you're able to kind of continue to win the games you're supposed to win, that's really all that matters. And there's other little things you can start to pick up on. Bailey Ober has a nice start today. I thought that was good to see after him being roughed up a little bit. And he had 8 strikeouts, and the changeup was really working for him. I know things got a little dicey with Cole Sands, and he had to call on Duran, but the Twins had that luxury where they have a really good closer. And even though I have been a little skeptical on Duran, I'm definitely not going to deny that he's their best option in the bullpen for obvious reasons. So at the end of the day, beat those teams, beat up on those bad teams. It's all good. We'll see what the Twins are able to do against Tampa Bay here for 3 games. And then they're on a long, I believe, road trip up until July 1st, I believe. I know Detroit's coming to town. Houston will come to town over the 4th of July weekend. But, yeah, I think it's totally okay for you to look at the Twins and say, hey, maybe they're not the best team, but they are taking care of all those other good teams or other bad teams in their schedule that they absolutely should be doing. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the Score North Twin Show. This is our YouTube channel. Appreciate everyone watching and consuming this content. We've grown this channel from scratch all the way to over 3,000 subscribers. That's been badass to me. It's kind of crazy. I know the Twins might not be your favorite Minnesota sports team sometimes, but at the end of the day, we love baseball here at Score North. So if you want a like button, if you're looking for some extra content, because the Wolves are done and the Vikings are in the offseason, welcome to the Score North Twin Show. This is a welcoming spot. We welcome everyone, or whether you're even just a Major League Baseball fan trying to figure out who the Twins are or who this random guy is that got a bunch of Guardians fans upset over a wind tunnel tweet. So that was me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Score North Twin Show. State of the Twins tomorrow with Mackie, Judd, and myself. Coach Trevor Plouffe, who you've seen on games, former big leaguer. He joins us every Tuesday. You can go find him on Tuesday. And then, Extra Innings episodes will be happening and taking place here from Target Field, from select road games. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the Score North Twin Show. My name's Declan Goff. Catch you tomorrow.